Welcome to What We Watch After Dark. My name's Nathan, and today we are going over a 10 movie. It's out of this world. You know, it's got a proposition for you. It's Goodfellas! One of my favorite films, but also cinematically awesome. It was directed, of course, by Martin Scorsese. And then it was written by Nicholas Pigali and Martin Scorsese. It stars Robert De Niro, Ray Liotta, and Joe Pesci. The budget was $25 million. Gross U.S. and Canada was $46 million. Opening weekend, U.S. and Canada, $6 million, September 23rd, 1990. Gross worldwide, $47 million. Well, that's the business end of things. And like I said, if you haven't seen it, you might take a look. It's a good fella, you know. Anyway, I love this film. Let's go ahead and roll the trailer. Roll them.
Never rat on your friends, and always keep your mouth shut.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Hey, Mom, what do you think?
You look like a gangster.
By the time I grew up, there was $30 billion a year in cargo moving through Idlewild Airport. Believe me, we tried to steal every bit of it.
What do you do?
I'm in construction.
He's not Jewish.
Mazel tov.
For most of the guys, killings got to be accepted.
Hey, Henry, here's an arm.
Very funny, guys.
Here's a leg.
There's a wing. What do you like, the leg or the wing?
For us, to live any other way was nuts. And we were treated like movie stars with muscle. We had it all just for the asking.
It's gonna be a good summer.
It was a glorious time.
In a world that's powered by violence, on the streets where the violent have power, a new generation carries on an old tradition.
Welcome back. Wasn't that fun? Man, like I said, this movie is a solid 10. Joe Pesci's portrayal of Tommy Denson is iconic, brutal, unhinged, and unforgettable. According to Henry Hill, the man whose life inspired the story, Pesci nailed it, getting Tommy 90 to 99% right. The only difference, the real Tommy wasn't just dangerous, he was built like a freaking tank, man. Robert De Niro took his role as Jimmy Conway seriously, very seriously. Henry Hill revealed that De Niro called him up to 7 or 8 times a day, asking for insight into the real Jimmy's mannerisms. Even details like how Jimmy held his cigarette were methodically researched. And then you wonder about another big name in gangsters films or in mob films, Al Pacino. Why wasn't Al Pacino in it? Believe it or not, Al Pacino almost played Jimmy Conway. He turned it down, worried about being typecast as a gangster. But here's the twist. Pacino went on to play an even more extravagant gangster that same year. Big Boy Caprice in Dick Tracy. And yes, he later admitted he regretted the decision. One of the most memorable scenes, the dinner with Tommy's mom, was almost entirely improvised. From Tommy casually asking for her butcher knife to Jimmy joking about a hoof. The actors created magic on the spot. Now, here's a secret about that dinner. Kathleen Scorsese, the director's mother, had no idea her on-screen son had just killed someone. Martin Scorsese simply told her, "Your son's home for dinner, cook for him." Her genuine reactions are what you see on screen. And, really makes it a magical scene in that way. Even pulling out the painting and stuff like that was awesome. Of course, as you can tell, I really like this film. I think Ray Liotta did a fantastic job. Of course, Joe Pesci. Of course, Robert De Niro. But it was an ensemble cast. Now, interesting enough that I figured out while watching the movie is I saw two people from Goodfellas. Paulie, and I also saw Christopher. If you can tell me if you see any more of the Soprano cast in there, which this movie comes before all that, and it's not tied together at all. I just happen to like the Sopranos too. Martin Scorsese does such a good job with the intensity as Hill gets into cocaine business and stuff like that, that the Paulie in the movie, not the Sopranos, told him to get out of it, get clean, don't do it anymore. When Hill went back and said, "I'm out for good, I promise, help me get out of this," Paulie said, "No, I can't. There's nothing I can do but this. $3,200, whatever it was." Well, that's what I got for today. I love each and every one of you. If you want to show me some love, like and subscribe. Liking helps me with the algorithm. Subscribing helps me to my goal of monetization. So just remember, I love you, each and every one of you. Try to spread it as far as you can. And really, we got to stop these wars.